Well, here we are. It's June the 2nd, 2009. We're 7 days away from the election. And that's the day all the sheep in Nova Scotia line up and march up into the polling station, put their X beside the name of a candidate who belongs to a political party that they feel will best serve the people of Nova Scotia in managing the affairs in the provincial legislature over there. Well, that's a bloody joke, and you know it as well as I know it. I made it known, and how I feel about this political system. I think it sucks. I think it's corrupt, and I think it's dirty and stinks bad. Richard Homburg was on CBC News last night. Whether it was a new clip or an old clip, I don't know, but nevertheless he was on, and he made the statement that if the NDP come to power in the province of Nova Scotia, many in the business community may leave the province, and he made it known that when the NDP came to power in Winnipeg, he left Winnipeg and came to Nova Scotia or went elsewhere. Irregardless, I'm of the opinion now that Mr. Homburg is saying that if the NDP come to power, he's moving over to the province of Nova Scotia, selling off his holdings in the province of Nova Scotia and moving on. Well, that'll be very interesting, Richard. I look forward to you coming on CBC and letting people of the province of Nova Scotia know that you're moving on and you're moving out because you don't like a political party that they pick to be the government in the province house over there. That statement to me is almost a threat. It's supposed to, I take it as almost like blackmail to me. I find it ludicrous that you would make such a statement. On the other hand, the Liberal Party and the Conservative Party are, as I have always said, one party masquerading as two. They are the party of the business community. They are your party, Mr. Homburg. It doesn't make any difference whether it's Liberal or Conservative. Those parties are your party, the party of the business community. On the other hand, I'm not endorsing the NDP here either. On the other hand, you have the NDP party, who I have always said are the voice of the Nova Scotia Government Employees Union. CUPE came out and said that they're pulling all the stops out and they're going out to support the New Democratic Party in this election. It was on the same news show that you were on, Mr. Homburg, that Darrell Dexter and the NDP party had to give back $45,000 to the Building Trades Association, the labor movement. So that confirms what I said all along. You confirmed that if the labor movement get their party in power, you're moving out because your two parties haven't come into political office. And it's once again proved the fact that I said that the NDP belonged to the unions. So what we have in this province, Mr. Homburg, is a word that's being tossed around as if it's supposed to mean something. And the word is democracy. Democracy, Mr. Homburg, comes to those who can afford it. And apparently, Mr. Homburg, you can afford your style of democracy only when one of your two parties are in power. That's your style of democracy. And on the other hand, the other style of democracy is the labor movement, government unions support for the NDP party. So democracy comes to those people who can afford it. And I've always said that there's nobody in the legislature over there looking out for the average voter in this province. And I'm talking about the average voter, like the person who pays their taxes, who works at Tim Hortons, who works at Sobeys, who works for a landscaping company, who works for a drywalling company, or who works for a painting company. The little guy, you know, who taxes are collected from in the name of public infrastructure and And we know about the public infrastructure, Mr. Homburg. On CBC, the same show you were on, there was a lady on there who has eye cancer and 2 small children. She's begging now for the province of Nova Scotia to help her with treatment so that she'll be able to live with her children and be with her children. We heard about the lady in Sackville who had cancer, who needed a drug to prolong her life so she could, I think it was, get more time with her 10-year-old son. She died. She didn't get more time because the province didn't help her. We learned about the guy down in Port Hawkesbury, Mr. Homburg, with the cancerous brain tumor, who has a young family, who the province denied help to originally. So what we have in this province, Mr. Homburg, is a political system that caters to the rich. And you're rich. You like the system that's in place now, as long as the Liberal and the Conservative Party are in power, because it caters to the business community. It gives the business community anything it wants. John Risley wanted $15 million to keep this so-called company afloat, or something, I guess it was. Province came to the plate one more time, as they always do in Mr. Risley's case. Guaranteed loans, backing, co-signing, whatever the hell it is. You know? You got Nova Scotia Business Inc. who run around giving tax write-offs and tax incentives and breaks to the companies who come in here and stay for a couple of years and then leave after they milk the system out. I just don't get it with the business community. You want me to be your consumer. You also want me to be your financier of your private business ventures. And you call it capitalism. Capitalism and a free market system does not exist. They don't go hand in hand in this province. You guys want free market capitalist system over here, but you want the state to finance you over here and feed you. I've been fighting a bad faith law in the books of the province of Nova Scotia. You in the business community finance and fund the Workmen's Compensation Board in the province of Nova Scotia. The province owns the legislation, but you guys finance the board down there. It's your board. And it's a cruel and abusive board. And you know it, but you do nothing about it. You do nothing about it. You don't clean it up. I have had friends who have committed suicide, Mr. Homburg. Families who have been forced into bankruptcy. Families who have been split apart because of that agency of the government down there that you finance, with the business community finances. The Liberal and the Liberal and the Conservative Party keep changing the legislation and making it worse down there for injured workers. The NDP are not about to do anything to correct the bad faith law, because the NDP, their sister union, the Nova Scotia Government Employees Union, unionized that bad faith agency of the government. So, Mr. Homburg, I don't know what you want from the citizens of Nova Scotia, but I'm going to tell the citizens of Nova Scotia this. Democracy comes to those who can afford it. Mr. Homburg can afford it, and the unions can afford it. Wayne Cody can't afford democracy. So therefore, I will not participate in the electoral process. I will not vote. I will not justify an abusive political system. And that's the end of it. Why would I vote for a system that constantly abuses me, Mr. Homburg? Have a good day.